Hello, my little love. Did you have a good day today? I hope something made you smile. Now take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and let your mind get soft and quiet. It's time for a gentle bedtime story. Once upon a time, deep in a warm and peaceful jungle, where the trees grew tall and the leaves whispered soft songs in the breeze, there lived a little boy named Mowgli. He was not born in the jungle, but the jungle became his home, and all the creatures there became his family. It all began on a quiet evening when the moon was just beginning to glow in the sky. A kind black panther named Bagheera was walking through the forest, his paws making hardly any sound on the soft earth. His fur shimmered like dark velvet, and his eyes were gentle and wise. As he walked beneath the trees, he heard a small sound, a tiny cry, coming from near the river. Bagheera followed the sound, stepping carefully over roots and stones, until he found a little basket resting by the water's edge. Inside the basket was a baby, wrapped in soft cloth, looking up at the stars with wide, curious eyes. The baby did not cry for long. Instead, he reached his tiny hand toward Bagheera, as if to say hello. Bagheera knew this little one needed a family, so he gently picked up the basket with his strong jaws and carried it through the jungle, walking slowly beneath the silver moonlight. The path wound through groves of bamboo that swayed gently in the evening breeze, past flowering vines that released their sweet perfume into the night air, and over soft moss that cushioned every step. He brought the baby to a family of wolves who lived in a cozy cave on the hillside. The wolf mother, Raksha, looked down at the baby with warm, loving eyes. She nuzzled him gently with her soft nose and said, "This little one will be ours. We will call him Mowgli, and he will grow up safe and loved." Her voice was like a warm blanket, full of comfort and protection. And so Mowgli grew up among the wolves. He learned to run through the jungle on bare feet that knew every root and stone. He climbed trees and felt the cool shade of the leaves above him. He listened to the songs of the birds and the hum of the bees. The jungle was full of life, but it was never loud or frightening. It was a place of wonder, where every creature had a place and every sound had a meaning. When Mowgli was very small, he would wake up each morning to the golden light filtering through the leaves above the cave. The light would dance and flicker, making patterns on the cave walls that looked like butterflies and flowers. He would stretch his little arms and yawn, and Raksha would gently lick his forehead, just as she did with all her cubs. Mowgli had many friends. There was Bagheera, who taught him to move quietly and see clearly in the dim light of the forest. Bagheera would sit beside Mowgli under the stars and tell him stories about the jungle, about how every animal had its own way of living, and how important it was to be kind and respectful to all living things. Bagheera's voice was smooth and calm, like water flowing over smooth stones. They would sit together on warm rocks in the late afternoon, when the sun was low and painted everything in shades of gold and amber. Bagheera would point out different plants and tell Mowgli their names, how some had healing properties, how others provided food, and how the jungle was like a great library full of wisdom waiting to be discovered. Then there was Baloo, a big, gentle bear with fur as soft as a cloud. Baloo loved to eat honey and sweet berries, and he loved to sing. His voice was deep and warm, like the rumble of distant thunder on a summer evening. Baloo taught Mowgli the laws of the jungle, but he did it in the kindest way. He would lie on his back beneath a tree, his big belly rising and falling with each peaceful breath, and Mowgli would sit beside him. And together they would watch the clouds drift slowly across the sky. Baloo would say, "Remember, little one, the jungle takes care of those who respect it. The bees share their honey if you are gentle. The river gives you water if you do not disturb its flow. And the trees offer shade if you do not harm their branches. Everything in the jungle is connected, like a big family, and we must care for one another." Mowgli listened carefully. He felt safe with Baloo, whose big paws were strong but never rough, and whose laughter was like sunshine breaking through the leaves. Baloo would sometimes scoop Mowgli up and place him on his broad shoulders, and they would walk through the jungle together, Baloo humming soft tunes, while Mowgli watched the world from up high. From Baloo's shoulders, Mowgli could see things he had never noticed before. He could see birds building their nests with such care, weaving each twig and leaf into place. He could see butterflies dancing in the air, their wings painted with colors that seemed to glow in the sunlight. He could see the way the light filtered through the canopy above, creating pools of brightness on the forest floor. Sometimes Mowgli would sit by the river in the early morning, when the mist was still rising and the world felt soft and new. He would dip his toes in the cool water and watch the fish swim by in lazy circles. The water was so clear he could see the smooth pebbles at the bottom, each one polished by years of gentle current. He would see his reflection in the water, his dark hair falling over his eyes, and he would smile. The river had many moods. In the morning, it was calm and peaceful, flowing with barely a whisper. By midday, when the sun was high, it would sparkle and dance, each ripple catching the light like tiny diamonds. And in the evening, as the sun set, the river would turn golden and pink, reflecting the colors of the sky. One day, as Mowgli was resting in the shade with Baloo, a wise old python named Kaa came slithering slowly through the grass. Kaa's scales shimmered in the dappled sunlight, each one catching the light like a tiny jewel. His eyes were calm and knowing, and his voice was soft and soothing, like a lullaby sung by the wind itself. Kaa did not frighten Mowgli. Instead, he coiled himself gently near a warm rock and spoke in a voice that seemed to hum with the rhythm of the jungle itself. He told Mowgli about patience, about how the jungle moves slowly, how the flowers take their time to bloom, opening their petals one by one when they are ready, and how the moon rises each night without hurry, always at the right moment. Kaa spoke about the seasons, how the jungle changes gradually, how the rains come and bring new life, how the dry times teach the plants to be strong, and how everything has its perfect time and place. His words were like a gentle stream, flowing and peaceful, carrying Mowgli into a state of deep calm. Mowgli felt his eyelids grow heavy as he listened to Kaa's gentle words. The jungle around him seemed to breathe in and out, slowly, peacefully. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin, the coolness of the shade, and the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. He felt connected to everything around him, as if he were a part of the jungle itself, as natural as the trees and the flowers. As Mowgli grew, he explored more of the jungle. He discovered meadows filled with tall grass that swayed like ocean waves, bending and flowing in patterns that seemed to have their own rhythm. He found quiet ponds where frogs sang their evening songs, their voices creating a chorus that echoed across the water. He climbed to the tops of trees and looked out over the jungle, seeing how vast and beautiful it was, how it stretched in every direction like a soft green sea. In one special corner of the jungle, there was a grove of ancient trees whose trunks were so wide that Mowgli could barely wrap his arms around them. The bark was rough and textured, telling stories of hundreds of years. Between the roots, soft ferns grew, their delicate fronds unfurling like tiny green hands reaching toward the light. Mowgli loved to visit this grove in the afternoon, when the light was gentle and golden. He would sit among the roots and listen to the sounds around him. Sometimes a family of monkeys would swing through the branches above, chattering softly to one another. Sometimes a deer would step delicately through the undergrowth, pausing to look at Mowgli with large, gentle eyes before continuing on its way. There were also the elephants, magnificent and wise, who moved through the jungle with surprising grace despite their great size. Mowgli would sometimes watch them from a distance, seeing how they cared for their young. How they used their trunks to reach high branches or to spray themselves with water from the river. The elephants were peaceful creatures, and they acknowledged Mowgli with gentle rumbles that he could feel in his chest. But Mowgli always returned to his family. At night, he would curl up beside Raksha and his wolf brothers and sisters, feeling the warmth of their fur and the steady rhythm of their breathing. The cave was cool and comfortable, and the entrance framed a perfect view of the night sky. The stars above twinkled gently, like friendly eyes watching over him. And the jungle was filled with the soft sounds of crickets and nightbirds singing their lullabies. His wolf brothers and sisters would tell him about their day, about the games they played in the meadow, about the interesting scents they discovered, about the lessons they learned from their parents. They would curl up together in a soft pile of fur and warmth, and Mowgli would feel completely at peace, completely loved. One evening, as the sun was setting and painting the sky in shades of peach and lavender and soft purple, Mowgli sat with Bagheera on a smooth stone overlooking the valley. The air was warm and still, and the world felt peaceful. Below them, the jungle spread out like a patchwork quilt of different greens, from the dark emerald of the deep forest to the bright lime of new growth. Bagheera looked at Mowgli with his kind, golden eyes and said, "You have grown so much, little one. You have learned the ways of the jungle, and the jungle has welcomed you. You belong here, among the trees and the rivers, among the creatures who love you. You have learned to listen, to watch, to respect, and to care. These are the greatest gifts the jungle can teach." Mowgli smiled. He felt a deep sense of belonging, a warmth in his heart that glowed like the embers of a gentle fire. He knew that the jungle was his home, and that he was surrounded by love from so many different friends, each one teaching him something special about life. Sometimes, Mowgli would hear distant sounds from beyond the jungle, sounds of a village where humans lived. He was curious, but he was never afraid. Bagheera told him that there was a whole world out there, full of different kinds of families and homes. And that one day, if he wished, he could visit that world too. But for now, this was where he belonged, where he was meant to be. Bagheera explained that every creature must find where they belong, and that belonging is not about where you were born, but about where your heart feels at home. For Mowgli, the jungle was that place, with its soft earth beneath his feet and its vast sky above his head. Mowgli thought about this as he lay beneath the stars that night, his head resting on Baloo's soft belly. He could hear the slow, steady beat of Baloo's heart, and it made him feel safe and content. He thought about all the kindness he had been shown, all the lessons he had learned, and all the gentle creatures who had become his family. He thought about how Raksha had nuzzled him when he was small, keeping him warm through cool nights. He thought about how Bagheera had taught him to see in the dark, to notice the small details that others might miss. He thought about how Baloo had made him laugh with silly songs and had shared sweet berries and golden honey. He thought about how even Kaa, with his slow and patient way, had taught him to be calm and thoughtful, to understand that some of the most important things in life cannot be rushed. He remembered the time Baloo had shown him how to find the sweetest mangoes, the ones that grew high up in the trees where the sun touched them all day long. He remembered the time Bagheera had guided him through the jungle at night, showing him how the world looked different under the moon, how shadows became friends rather than things to fear. He remembered playing with his wolf siblings, tumbling and wrestling in the soft grass, their games always gentle and full of joy. He remembered the first time he had successfully climbed to the top of the tallest tree in the clearing, and how everyone had celebrated with him, proud of his courage and determination. The jungle was full of life, but it was also full of rest. At night, when the moon rose high and bathed everything in silver light, the jungle became a place of deep peace. The trees stood tall and still, their leaves barely moving in the gentle night breeze. The animals found their cozy places to sleep, curling up in dens and nests and hollow logs, each one finding comfort in their own special spot. The nocturnal creatures began their gentle routines. Owls hooted softly to one another, their calls carrying across the quiet spaces between trees. Fireflies emerged, their tiny lights blinking on and off like stars that had come down to dance among the bushes. The night-blooming flowers opened their petals, releasing fragrances that were sweet and calming. Mowgli closed his eyes and listened to the symphony of the night. He heard the gentle hoot of an owl, wise and comforting. He heard the soft chirp of crickets, creating a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. He heard the distant trickle of the river, always flowing, always moving forward. He felt the cool night breeze brush his cheek, carrying with it the scent of jasmine and damp earth, and he smiled. He knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures, new things to see and learn. Perhaps he would explore a new part of the jungle, or perhaps he would spend the day by the river, or perhaps he would simply rest in the shade with his friends, talking and laughing and enjoying the simple pleasure of being together. But tonight, all he needed to do was rest. The jungle would watch over him, just as it always had. His family was near, and he was safe. Somewhere nearby, a mother bird sang a soft song to her chicks, tucking them under her wing. A family of rabbits settled into their burrow, nestled close together. The great trees swayed ever so slightly, as if rocking the whole jungle to sleep. As sleep began to carry him away, Mowgli whispered a quiet thank you to the jungle, to the stars, to his family, and to all the kindness that had filled his days. And the jungle seemed to whisper back, in the rustle of leaves and the song of the wind, "You are loved, little one. You are part of us, and we are part of you. Sleep well, and dream beautiful dreams." And so Mowgli drifted into dreams. Dreams of running through soft grass that tickled his feet, of climbing trees that reached all the way to the sky, where he could touch the clouds, of swimming in cool rivers under the warm sun, the water holding him gently as he floated. He dreamed of laughter and songs, of gentle paws and warm fur, of a home that was wild and free and full of love. He dreamed of flying with the birds, seeing the jungle from above, watching how the river wound through the land like a silver ribbon. He dreamed of talking with the flowers, learning their secrets. He dreamed of running alongside the deer through moonlit clearings, feeling the cool night air on his face. In his dreams, Baloo was singing a lullaby in his deep, rumbling voice, and Bagheera was purring softly beside him. And Raksha was there with her warm presence, and all was peaceful and good. The stars in his dreams sparkled even brighter than the real ones, and they seemed to spell out messages just for him, messages of love and belonging. The jungle held him close, the way a mother holds her child, the way the night sky holds the stars, the way the earth holds the seeds until they are ready to grow. And everything was peaceful. Everything was exactly as it should be. Mowgli was home, surrounded by love, safe and warm and deeply, deeply content. The night wrapped around him like the softest blanket, and sleep carried him deeper into rest, where all worries disappeared and only gentle, happy dreams remained. You did well today, my little love. Now let your eyes grow heavy, and let the night wrap around you like a soft blanket. Sleep well, sweet dreams, and rest deeply.